Do you realize
we have a live audience?
We do. That's our groupies. You realize something, though, Dan. Nerds do rule the planet right now.
No kidding.
And it's true. Actually, you know what? Nerds, the geeks are cool. The nerds are still nerds. I just wanted to clear that definition up real quick.
Don't forget, after the program, I want your lunch money.
You are listening to Edge of the Web Radio. If you were wondering what you were just listening to, so are we.
I have to say this. I think that women still rule the world. It's just that nerds have to get power in order to get women, and that's why.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, exactly. And so far, it's not working with me.
That's another show. There,
I think we have a series.
You're listening to Edge of the Web Radio. If you're just tuning in, run away fast.
Run away to edgeofthewebradio.com.
Exactly, edgeofthewebradio.com. What we're doing is actually doing a regular show on search engine optimization and how it affects your website. But it's actually more than that. It's inbound marketing, how the rest of the world sees your website and how you can convert that traffic into leads, because that's what you really want as a business owner.
That's right.
So we're coming back with a segment talking about how often to SEO. But I want to tell you real quick about our services from Site Strategics. I'm Aaron Sparks, owner of Site Strategics, and we've been having this show for a good 20. This is a 22nd show, I think. It's pretty cool.
That's correct.
And we have social media management services. We actually optimize and groom your website for visibility on organic searches. We also market your site on search engines if you want to do the pay-per-click campaigns. We help guide that as well. We also develop websites, e-commerce websites, and install content management systems and make you look marvelous. That's what I'm saying. All right, getting into it. Is your SEO agency any good? Everybody says yes.
Mine is.
We got an article here from Search Engine Watch, and just continue the news real quick. Is your SEO agency any good? Within organizations, some very smart people want to understand enough to know whether or not their SEO agency that they've hired is actually doing a good job.
No. You just pay them $5,000, sit back, relax.
Exactly.
Takes care of itself.
And magically you rank well.
That's right.
Although you never gave them access to the site or anything.
Don't need to.
Don't need to.
It's all inbound, baby.
They got that Google mole.
If you care enough to ask that question, which every business owner needs to ask.
Right.
I mean, no agency is above reproach, but certainly you actually need to do one thing. You need to ask what they're doing in order to know how they're doing it and if they're doing it well.
That's right.
You got to know what they're executing on and then be able to see the dial go up.
Well, Google's going to hold you responsible.
You got that right.
It doesn't matter who you hire. It doesn't matter what shyster, how much you paid them, how much visibility they had. If they do a poor job for you, Google will de-index your site. And they don't care about excuses. They don't care that you didn't even realize what the SEO folks were doing.
That's right.
Yeah.
You have to take responsibility for your own business and your own website and everything that's happening there.
There's a lot of poor quality tactics out there that actually contravene a search engine's guideline. And one of the things, we want to give you a couple quick pointers on what you should know whenever interacting with a search engine optimization agency. One of the most things are their methods unclear. If you're paying good money for a service, you have every right to know exactly how that service is going to be provided.
Now, most of the time, your eyes are going to roll back in the back of your head.
I love when they start frothing.
I'm not going to want to hear all the nerd talk, but a good SEO agency is actually going to be able to just go to the next one, illustrate it, and be able to explain it to you in your terms and a little bit better without going into all the geek speak. I think I think that's where a good agency shines, and you're not going to try to if they don't come out with a very clear answer on what they're offering you, and they're not coming clean and they're obfuscating the discussion, then that's no good as well.
No,
if they start talking about, well, those are competitive secrets and everything else, run.
Yeah.
Because this is just hard work, right? At the end of the day, this is difficult, tedious minutia that you can do to optimize your sites and optimize your business online.
And there are no secrets anymore.
There
realizing.
aren't, and everything that they do. I mean, whether you were talking about falling asleep, robots files and XML and rich snippets and authorship and it's all exactly. But it's easy to explain that stuff. You can explain that in a minute or less to the average business person. Whether they care or not is a different thing. But you should be asking these questions. Yeah. Well, what is it? Why are you doing it? Okay.
Now, there is some common ground that you as a business owner have to cover. You have to meet them halfway. You have to know some of these key factors that the SEO agency actually pays attention to. Yeah. We've talked to them about them before. And we've got on our website if you want to find out bounce rates, conversion paths, stuff like that. Those things are very important because it really actually has to do with your online salesman, which is your website.
It's the trust but verify, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love it. Good little reg in there. Awesome.
Yeah, are they refusing to provide any proof of work is the next one here.
That's right. If they're not going to provide you any reporting, if they're not going to provide you any type of view of your site, and on top of that, in comparison to other websites that are in your same industry, now they don't have all the deep knowledge that they may have about yours, but there are great tools out there to be able to compare and contrast very easily.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that if they're not going to share that information, then first you got to ask why.
Yeah.
If they're doing it to not bore you, then that's one thing. But if they're not regularly providing you reports that we've all kind of been trained on to see success, I mean, you get that from your stockbroker, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're investing in your company, you want to see movement up or down on the dial, and your SEO agency should certainly do that as well.
Well, that's a great example of the stockbroker too, because the stockbroker is working day and night, working on stocks, right? He's working in the market. He understands, the information, and that's what your agency, that's what they're there for. So you don't have to do that. So part of this too is understand that the value that they're bringing your organization too. The last thing you want to do is beat up your SEO guy because you don't think it took that long to to do the work. It has nothing to do with length of time or anything like that.
Absolutely.
It's all about expertise and value. And are they bringing you value? Are you growing? Are you seeing results? And maybe it's not overnight. Maybe it's 6 months if you're in a highly competitive space, and are you seeing these incremental changes? You were talking about the keyword ranking report that you guys offer.
Right.
Are you seeing the keyword report? Sometimes you'll optimize a site and see a dramatic drop in traffic because you're getting rid of irrelevant traffic.
Awesome point.
So it's just the metrics are just so important, and having an open agency that's working with you on those reports is but you do have to trust them as well.
Another quick point just to make mention is business success is that don't hold to just the keyword performance. Look at how your business is doing. Pay attention and track how your customers are interacting with you. They're not all going to submit a form. They're going to call you. And if you don't have trackable numbers that are maybe just web only, if you don't have a method of actually processing and seeing that that new level of business, you're not going to know whether or not the SEO work was really working for you.
And in all honesty, we see, especially with our clients, is these short keywords that are highly competitive typically don't drive the conversions. No. It's these long tail, and when I say long tail, I'm talking about 3 and 4, 5 word combinations that have maybe a keyword in them that's a high search value, but you would never think to purchase that with pay-per-click or anything like that.
Right.
It's such niche, but guess what? Behind that niche is a very qualified user that's looking exactly for your services.
So sometimes SEO companies will come out and say, well, here's your 5 keywords, and what you have to know is that, behind that 5 is probably another couple hundred combinations of that keyword. Then people don't always use the same one.
That's right.
That's a good point. I mean, so many times owners get stuck in their own bubble of their own behavior and thinking that the rest of the market does everything they do.
Yeah.
I type in these keywords, so that's what I need to be in for.
I love that.
That's what it is.
How come I don't rank number 1 for my business name?
Well, if you don't, there's a big problem there. Yeah, so that dovetails into another point of how often do you breaking away into a quick another segment here is how often do you need to optimize? You're dealing with your SEO agency. The concept is okay. Well, if you've done your work right, and you've done your new site and you entered into the SEO game,
We're done.
We're done. How often? How often do you actually have to optimize or re-optimize? Right?
Well, you said Google updates what every year?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's every week now.
oh, okay.
Lord, that's great for the SEO agencies, right?
I wish it was every year.
What was happening 2 years ago may not be happening today,
Right.
Or tomorrow.
or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
And honestly, you have to work with an SEO agency that you can trust, that they will pay attention to what's going on. And, if something was done for a particular period of time, it may actually not be the best way to roll out from another update. So you got to be able to work with companies. Whenever you're doing a redesign of a website,
Right.
it's a perfect time to
Perfect time.
wash and rinse and repeat again.
Yeah.
You're needing to pay attention to how these pages now have all coalesced. And on top of that, if you actually have a content management system, if you've got new tools or new things that can be added into that CMS,
Right.
then there's also a great time to kind of up your game with SEO.
Everything is moving, right? Your competition is moving.
Yeah.
You're moving. The keywords are moving. The public is moving. There's trending with keywords
Yeah.
seasonally, location.
Yeah.
All of it is moving at the same time. So asking someone to just optimize my site, it doesn't make sense because they can optimize it for today, but tomorrow it changes again. So
You know what? You're really looking for a partner.
you are.
You're not looking for somebody
Perfect.
that's going to be a mechanic,
Right.
that's going to fix what was ailing you right now. You're looking for a long-term, like a physical trainer that's actually going on and regularly paying attention.
What's that?
Right. Hey, but
On that note,
we'll be coming back with some more points on
yeah,
how
absolutely.
often you optimize.
We need to finish that up. That's pretty cool stuff. You're listening to Edge of the Web Radio from Site Strategics. Check back real soon. Talk to you. Batman.